Rebellions are built on hope.
Before Otti leaves in the next few minutes, we gotta do it. And it's when we jump to a new segment, A World Between Fandoms. All right, Otti, we made it. I don't know how long you have before you leave. Sorry it was so loud. Rings of Power, we got the finale, we got Sauron, we got a bunch of stuff. Give me your thoughts.
Mo, have you watched Rings of Power?
I haven't. I've tried to watch Lord of the Rings a few times, and it's a little bit of a struggle for me. So but I've heard you could watch Rings of Power without watching the
you can
the movies.
It helps watching the movies because I had to rewatch them when the show started because I was not following the show at all. But so, do you mind if we spoil the shit out of it?
All right.
So, dude, Maggie called it.
She did. I haven't tweeted it out because I know she doesn't watch till Monday. But I have screenshot of a conversation we had right when the show started, about 3 weeks into it. When we had that conversation, if Halbrand is Sauron, what's this gonna mean for Galadriel? Because she's helping the person that she's helping. It's the one that she was finding and a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna tweet that out.
By the way, the chat is not happy. Like they say, Mo needs to watch the Ring of.
I will. Yes. I'll catch up on Lord of the Rings and Rings of Power.
Yes. But yes. So the.
And
we'll go to House of the Dragons.
Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna spoil it, guys. So, dude, what a great reveal, and I'm surprised how much it worked.
It worked great because of how the show started. Because they throw the range that the stranger was Sauron, because the mystic tell us, we finally found you, Lord Sauron, and he believes it. And I'm watching my wife, and my wife's like, no, it can't be, because he has to be good. He has to be. Yeah. Because we've been so.
I think it would have been a betrayal of what they showed with Nori. Like, not
completely.
The peril, but my God, when did you realize? By the way,
when is Galadriel here? No, where am I? This is the works of Celebrimbor. Celebrimbor, because my master and I, you mother.
My moment was when he said, "Consider it a gift," because I don't know that much about the Lord, but I know about Anatar, Lord of Gifts, and I was like, no!
And he was too invested. Look at this gem. Look at this. What does this one do? Have you tried doing this? He showed his hand of how much he knows about metallurgy and all this stuff. I'm like, he knows.
Has thought about it. He has thought about it.
When he said, is Galadriel here? No. You're Celebrimbor? Because my master that I apprenticed had such great things. I can't believe that I'm here in your presence. Like, she's there. But then they switch back to the stranger and still trying to play it off. Clear his mind because the veil, he still doesn't know who he is. Like, they're still playing with me, but it's too obvious. But again, Charlie Vickers, you got to give it up for Halbrand. And the stranger also, I forgot, I don't know, have the name of the actor, but Vickers did a great job with Halbrand all the way through. And then I love when Galadriel started to sense, like, when Celebrimbor says, Halbrand is the one that kind of gave us the idea because it's no wait.
He says the Adar line.
Not of the flesh, over flesh. Like, there it is. 100% confirmation. She's like, where did you hear that? I don't know. Was it me that said it? Who said it? Was Halbrand with you? I think I said it. And then leaves. And like, she knows.
Yep. So getting a little bit broad strokes, but when we talked to Maggie, I remember I said, like, I wanted him not to know who he was, but I love that he knows. And I love that. So do you think his moments with Galadriel leading to this episode were sincere?
Man, that's their conversation. I don't know. I got to go watch and see. Because when Galadriel is like, you saved me on that boat. No. You saved me. You convinced Numenor to come fight.
I want to say Numenor.
It was you that convinced them. And I told you I got this from a dead man. That's I love that. Because he switches. He said, you know who I am. And throws the whatever, the scroll with all the family lineage. It's like, I told you I got this from a dead man. That switch was great. And I think he was sincere because he says, with you by my side, we're going to rule. And it's rule or what I have here?
No, he says we're going to heal. And then she says, is that the
save
same
or rule? Yeah.
Save or rule.
Rule. I see no difference.
Yes.
So it's like he wanted her to be like that dark queen, the queen, not dark, but beautiful, like she says in Lord of the Rings. And at the scene of the water turning and there's Sauron with the crown and Galadriel next. I love you.
I just want to say that ever since I saw the episode last night, I was getting like very deep into like reading about the lore because I'm a very casual fan, and I was reading that when in the books when Morgoth dies, there's a moment there where Sauron thinks about just leaving it all behind and just redeeming himself, which is so weird because in the cultural conscious, Sauron is just like the embodiment of evil. In the movies, he's a presence. He's not like real, and like humanizing him and having him be like falling in love with Galadriel and having these desires and being a person. Wow. And it's for me, it's the same thing they did with Vader when they showed us Anakin's life. We're seeing Sauron's origin story. How, because I don't think he's pure evil at this moment. I think he's gonna get there by the end of the show. But my God, I was floored, honestly.
It was, and I think it's not that he wanted to go good or go to the light, even though he says to Galadriel, you bind me to the light, I bind you to power. Together we can kind of rule. He wanted that because when they had the conversation earlier, a couple of episodes, we felt it just being in battle, being together. It's like, I can forget my past. And he even tells Galadriel, you told me, forget all my past and just go to the future. So I think there is a point that he wants to do the right. It's like all the great villains in his eyes, what he's doing is the right way. Because Adar tells it, Sauron was trying to create this new world or whatever. He went too far off, and that's why I had to kill him. And so I think Sauron or Halbrand at this point was trying not to go good, but the way he was trying to fix Middle Earth, it's not the way to go about it. But like he also tells Galadriel, they cast you out because you couldn't stop chasing me. What are they gonna do when they find out that you were the one helping me? It's like, we're in this together.
That line I'll never forget, and I'll make sure no one else forgets. Oh my God.
I make sure no one forgets, and that's also important when she tells Elrond, you told me that you would trust me, you wouldn't betray me again, so I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but you're gonna find out. And when he found out, it's like he has that scroll. Like,
I love that he doesn't say anything because I think that's him like trusting her. But
at one point I was so scared when he goes down and starts looking. I think, oh crap, it's Sauron disguised as Galadriel, telling them, oh, we need to do all these things with the rings, and he's gonna find the real Galadriel still passed out. But no, he finds the scrolls and kind of puts two and two together. Just kind of winding this down because we can go. I got like 40 minutes of no, we can't. When it's we can't do two, we gotta do three because one corrupts. I love that. Two will pit us against each other. Divide. Three will keep us in check. I forgot the line that Celebrimbor said, but 3 rings for the Elven Lords. I'm like, here we go. This is why I love this so much.
We're still missing like 17 rings.
But I love that it didn't end with the creation of the one ring. We saw the first 3. And when and I'll give it up to someone on Twitter that says, when Galadriel said, these rings these powers only for the elves, and they show Elrond. Elrond is already thinking how to tell his boyfriend in the mountains how to do this. Going straight to Durin. Hey, that's
how many do the elves get?
Thank you.
How many do the dwarves make? 7?
7. And then 9 for men destined to die. And then 1 for the Dark Lord.
So, okay, Alberto, you know more about this than I do. The one ring comes after the first 19, right?
Yes.
So we're still a ways off before the ring.
Yeah, so I don't know, because at one point, maybe he already learned how to do them. Because he was the one
I think he did.
So I don't know if he needs to go back to, because I think he kind of tricks them into doing the one ring. But I think he already knows. He he doesn't have the ingredients. Of course, he doesn't have mithril, he doesn't have silver and gold from Numenor. So it'll be how he gets those. But yeah, I'm very interested to see where this series is going for season 2. I was reading an interview yesterday with the creators that they did that this way, that season 1 was this kind of who is Sauron instead of, like you said, it's all evil. And then season 2 is going to be what people thought season 1 was going to be. It's more about this. Sauron is going to be out there more. It's going to be more present. So
okay. I'm dying to see the corruption of Sauron, like how he turns into like the Dark Lord Sauron. And dude, the Witch King, that's like my new thing. Like this season was Sauron watch. Now we're in Witch King watch.
Yeah, which it almost looked like when the stranger uses the staff to kind of obliterate the mystic. It looked like he has some crowns that look like the Witch King, but he can't be. But let's talk about the ending from those guys, from the Hardfoots, the strangers. I cried twice.
That was awesome.
Both times.
Awesome.
As a parent, saying goodbye to my children was going to be the hardest thing when they go to college, and this was it. One of my favorite movies that I watched the past year and a half is Coda. So I just love that relationship. And seeing it here, I forgot the name of Nori's father, saying, "No, you're not. You're part of something bigger now. Go out there and be on this adventure." Just broke me. But we got confirmation. Ishtar, wise one. In your tongue, it means wizard. When in doubt, follow your nose. That's all I needed.
Okay,
I'm happy. So Gandalf is here.
I think they're telegraphing the Gandalf thing, but I'm thinking it might not go that way. So just hear me out, man. Just hear me out. So from the little I know, I know that Gandalf arrives later on. However, I think they can do like from a certain point of view thing. Like he goes, turns into the Blue Wizards, and then comes back, and that's his return as Gandalf. But I don't know. I think it's just like too obvious, and that's not at all like a critique. But I think it would be cool if they did something different. That's just me. Okay,
and that's fine. That's your opinion. My opinion on this little rectangle here is that you're wrong. And if it's not Gandalf, I will not watch the show anymore. I will.
And where's Saruman then?
I don't care. He's somewhere in the other side. When he goes to Rund, to the eastern, maybe he finds Saruman over there.
Okay.
And yes, Gandalf's not supposed to show for another 1,000 years or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's artistic liberties. I'm fine with them. They can't have such an iconic line from Gandalf to then, we're subverting expectations or putting the rug out from. They can't do that. I hope that they don't do it.
It may be like Gandalf's master. I don't know.
So someone tweeted maybe that is Gandalf, or again, we are 2,000 years before Lord of the Rings. Maybe he goes back to the Grey Havens and returns. And he has a second return to Middle-earth, and that's the one that people know out there. But for me, I love it. And Amy isn't as similar. She said, I really love how they did the Gandalf Sauron reveals. Even though their identities turned out to be exactly the way so many of us predicted at the start, they kept us guessing till the very end. And I agree.
It's been very well played. Definitely.
Yeah. And then it ends with Sauron at this point entering Mordor, seeing Mount Doom in the background.
I know that place.
There you go.
I know Mordor. And also, I have no actual opinion on this because I don't know anything about Lord of the Rings, but I do like Gandalf because he has that big pipe.
He has a big pipe.
I want that pipe.
And also, when the mystics are telling, you have the stars, they call the nomad's hat or something like that, or the wanderer's hat. It's like, it's gonna be a wizard.
Yeah.
Anyway, so great show, great season, great finale. Knocked it out of the park. Can't wait for Numenor to come back. We didn't get to talk about Elendil and the Queen. The fight is still on with them. They'll come back. The king died, unfortunately.
Isildur is missing in action.
Yes. And then as we jump into House of the Dragon, the king on this episode did the same thing that Viserys said, telling the wrong person some secrets.
Yeah.
All right. So the House of the Dragon, just go.
Quickly. Patty, I don't know his last name. God bless you. Fucking freaking Viserys. I'm sorry, Alberto. What an episode. What an episode. Marong. So I'm at a loss for words. That scene with Daemon and the crown, beautiful. Just how those arcs close out. Alicent and Rhaenyra, how those arcs close out for like a second and then open up again. Oh my god, that relationship is just so heartbreaking when you think about where they started. They were in my head, they were in love, and now they're just about to go to war with each other. Yeah. And my god, I'm a sucker for misread prophecies, and this is like the mother of misread prophecies because it was misread, misspelled, misheard. Wow. I love the episode. I think it's been the best episode so far. It was so emotional, and seeing the Targaryen kids be just such douches. And get ready for more Aemon, because he is the devil.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it in his eyes. I know you have to leave out there. I'll just say this as you're leaving. You called it one of our episodes. We talked about how
they protect each other,
and Rhaena had that relationship. There's some love there, and you said the Targaryens protect each other. That's all they are. Yeah, we had it with Daemon coming back and helping his
now.
Brother. Yes.
Bye, guys. I gotta go.
Family. Okay, Oti, thanks for joining us. See you next week. All right. If he learns how to get out, I'll get you out. All right, there you go. He's out there. Hi, Mo. How you doing?
Good.
All right, so you're caught up with House of the Dragon?
I am.
How was this episode? You also loved it?
I did. I loved it. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm not a big Daemon and Rhaenyra shipper. It's a little weird to me, but I do love how much he protects her. And someone pointed out, like, there's like right before Laenor's brother is about to call her children bastards, there's like a quick scene where Daemon looks over at her and she's like, I'm like, you can be violent. You can do it.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either during the episode, but I saw that someone tweeted a few days. Just a quick glance. She's like, and he's like, say it. I'm like, oh no, don't do it. Don't do it. But it's weird. But at this point, that's what Game of Thrones is. So, and we know the Targaryens want to keep this kind of perfect bloodline. And then I think some of Alicent's children are married, which is even weirder. But that scene, also when they get back to the kingdom, no one's waiting for them. Well, just that love that both Rhaenyra and Daemon have for Viserys, for her dad and his brother, because even though they've been at odds for so long, they still have that relationship. So I love that they got that time just to be at his bedside, her kind of saying, that's not my dad. He doesn't look like the person I remember. It's been years since I've seen him. Unfortunately, I've been through that. When my dad passed away, when I went to visit him at the hospital, he didn't look like him. So it hit hard, but it's also, man, those Targaryens, they're evil, but at the same time, they have some love for each other.
Yeah, I love that she named one of her kids Viserys.
Oh, yes.
That was nice. They also have hella kids all of a sudden.
Yeah, right? From nothing now to like 3 more.
Oh, yeah, 3. It's like, oh, wow.
They don't wait. But that scene when they're talking about trying who's going to be the heir to Driftmark and do you expected Viserys to be there? I didn't think he was going to make it because he's been so messed up for so long, and then he just makes the climb, basically.
Especially where we left off with him. Like, he was in bed, they were talking, and then like he's just like all of a sudden in so much pain. Yeah. And then like can't even really understand what Rhaenyra's saying to him. Like, she's trying to talk to him, and like the pain is just so overwhelming for him. So that was a big shocker for me. I didn't think he was going to come through, but that was a powerful scene.
Yeah, I mean, it was. And it was beautiful when you see Daemon come to his aid, because we don't see it. We just see a hand go down. It's like, I tell you, I don't need the help. It's your brother that you've kicked out of the kingdom. You've banished like 5 times already. But the most powerful one, of course, is Daemon putting the crown back on him. The crown that he wants so much that they fought over. It's like, you're still the king. Let him know who's in charge here. So I just love all that. And then, of course, it goes to beheading someone a few months later.
Keep his tongue. I was like, oh.
Yeah. But I also love when we go to that dinner scene, Viserys kind of realizing that my family's together. I'm not going to be here much longer.
Yeah.
Do it for me, kind of. Let's put all these, not petty differences, they're big differences, but let's all put them aside. Do it for me.
Yeah.
Like Otis said, for that split second, it seems like things might work out.
It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. It started with the kids teasing each other. Aemon kind of gets in the middle, and then Daemon kind of, dude, really? Did you see me just kill someone before the main course?
He just had to do it.
Yeah.
Strong kids. Oh, God.
Man, I hate those kids. I don't know why.
So misbehaved.
Do you know where the story goes? Have you read those books, or are you just going along for the ride?
I'm just here for the ride.
All right, same. I haven't read anything. I never read the Game of Thrones books. I was late getting into it. I think I started like in season 5.
Same.
So here I know nothing. So I'm enjoying it as it comes. But so far, very good. And I'll say, for people that say that, oh, Andor is kind of slow, it's a slow burn, don't watch House of the Dragon. Every episode, it takes like 45 minutes to, okay, here we are.
Yeah. I really liked that they gave us a moment with Alicent and Rhaenyra. Because I'm on Odie's team. They were in love. I ship them. I don't care. It's messy. Whatever.
And I thought before the season started, I thought that was the way it was going to go, just because some of the interviews, some of the images we were seeing, and I thought that was the way. But as soon as she was pushed by her dad to kind of go visit,
because like neither of them had a lot of agency. Like it's all just a political game. Like they just have to play their roles.
Mm-hmm. And it's just taken them so long to kind of fall into those kind of roles, because they don't want to be there. But after, I don't know, 16 years, we're screwed. This is our future now with our kids. And even Alicent keeps telling her kids, you can't act like this. You're going to be king, or you're going to do this. You got to. So, yeah, I can't. I hate those kids. And I hate that Otis says there's going to be more of them. So we'll see. But like we mentioned before, as we're finishing the Rings of Power talk, Viserys in his kind of delusions at the end of his life, thinking he's talking to Rhaenyra, telling Alicent that Aemon is the key, the prince that was promised. I'm like, dude, just die. I don't want you to die, but don't say anything else.
So what? Who do you think he's talking about there? He said Aegon, right?
Aegon, yes. I think he's just thinking about, I don't know if the prophecy actually says Aegon, and he's thinking that maybe one of Rhaenyra's grandkids is going to be called Aegon or whatever. But of course, Ellie says, oh, it's my son she's talking about.
Because, I mean, if it's a prophecy that's been around for a while, it could be like, oh my God, the main guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh, Jon Snow?
Yeah, Jon Snow, because he is Aegon Targaryen.
Yeah, and I think that's it. By Game of Thrones, when the prophecy, whatever, I think it's him that they're talking about. But at this point, like 150 years before, it's like, oh, no, it's my kid, because he loves me. He says, I love you. No, he's talking to his dead wife at the end. When he's
it doesn't help. It doesn't help that everyone is naming their child Aegon.
Yeah, that's one thing. Daemon, Aemon, Aegon. It's like, too much. Just give me a call. I kind of, that's a myth or something.
For real.
All right, but yeah, great season so far. I think we have 2 more episodes. I think it's 9 episodes or 10,
really?
10 episodes. I think there's 2 more left. Okay. 2 or 3. I forget.
Is it going to be multiple seasons?
I want to say that I just heard from George R. Martin that they have an idea that for this show to make sense all the way, it's 4 seasons of 10 episodes.
Okay.
So hopefully that's it, and they already have this story all planned out. Yeah. And we don't end up with what happened in Game of Thrones, which I didn't mind it, but I know a lot of people did. All right, so finishing up, She-Hulk, another show that came to an end this week. Have you been watching She-Hulk? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, and I watched the finale a few days ago.
Okay, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I've enjoyed the show. I like the lightheartedness of it.
Yeah.
I like that, like, because I do enjoy the MCU, but I don't read the comics. Like, I'm not a diehard fan. So I like that in this show, like, you don't have to really know anything about the MCU.
Oh,
you
of course.
Just watch it.
Yeah, and even though I've read comics in the 90s, I don't remember reading a lot of She-Hulk comics, so I'm not caught up with it. So whatever they give me, what they give me. And I mentioned before, the first couple of episodes, I wasn't too much into it. The last 4 or 5, when, okay, this is just a 30 minutes lighthearted comedy, I was all into it. And all the superhero stuff in the background, I didn't mind too much. I didn't care for it too much. Just give me all the fun stuff in between. So although I did enjoy the finale, I'm not going to say it was my favorite episode of the season. I think it went too meta at the end, jumping into the Disney Plus screens and doing all this other stuff. Like, you're losing me. I didn't mind.
It was very meta, but I think the story that they were setting up, I didn't like that.
No, me neither. So I agree when she goes talk to Kevin and she says, why is he stealing my blood? Why is Bruce here? Why is Abomination? I 100% agree because they lost me. And when Bruce showed up and started fighting with Abomination, I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Tatiana came out, I was like, she hates her. Why is she?
So I didn't like where it was going, but I think it went too far into correcting it because when she's telling Kevin, all those things that were wrong, when she comes back, everything already had been resolved. It's like whatever Ted or whatever his name is already arrested. Blonsky is going back to jail, and Bruce is not there, and then Matt Murdock just falls from nowhere.
Just pops up.
So it's like, really? But I love that Matt Murdock was back because they have great chemistry. It's 100% sure that she's gonna show up in the Daredevil series. So again, I wasn't super fan of the finale, but all in all, I really enjoyed the series just because, like you said, let's just have fun for 30 minutes. We don't need to connect all the dots with the MCU.
Yeah, it was a cool finale. It was. I definitely didn't see any of that happening.
No.
I did like the Kevin thing. I thought that was funny.
That part was great, and I didn't mind. I just everything else before she got to that point, like you're losing me. It's taking too long, but whatever. From what I seen on social media, a lot of people love this ending. So I guess they knew what they were doing. All right, Mo. I think that kind of brings an end to our chat today for Oti that had to leave a little bit early to go listen to some John Williams music with the Puerto Rico Symphony. Thanks for being here. Thanks to everyone in the chat. That's always been great. Mo, always a pleasure having you on. I think this is the first official time you're being on the podcast because you've been here before for the trivia, for the Rogue One Watch Channel, but first time officially here. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Always a blast. I love the show.
Yeah. All right, just finish up with our friend Juan Mereles is saying, I love that they made a finale that fits Jen's character arc rather than just forcing a giant CGI battle. First super fitting for me, and I agree on that end.
Yeah.
All right, so for Juan, Roberto, Dale, Amy, Andrew, I don't know who else was here. Everyone that joined us today, thanks for joining us today. Make sure that you like this video. If you come back to watch the ending. Mo, again, thanks for being here. Where can people find you? I guess right there where it says, right next to it.
Yeah, I'm going to do an Odie. You can find me at whatever it says right there.
Whatever is there, plus it's on the description of the video. And for myself, thank you for joining us at Radio Rebel Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And on our website, Radio Rebellion Podcast, Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast.wordpress.com. I'll have my review of That's Too Loud of A Path of Deceit there at some point soon this week. And then we'll do another chat here. We'll be back next week with Buck. Our friend Buck O'Brien will be here.
Yeah.
So guys, thanks for joining us. Stay safe. Be safe. May the Force be with you.